Holy moly. Now my screen is stuck. There we go. Okay, now.
Nothing. No notification either.
Oh, it says I'm live. Yeah, you have to reset your machine. You have to go back into my. Just tap my. No, not the video. It's got to go out and then back in. Okay, this is that looking
It's
better.
good. It's good.
Okay. How do I don't know if I can type. How do I type?
Zelenze. Cheers.
Hey Zelensky, we I think we got it figured
You
out
can
now.
make it.
This is my first live setting it up, just not pushing a button. So okay, we got to go down a bit. Okay. Well, we're gonna be doing the paper first, so okay, there we go.
Hey,
Hey,
guys,
420.
Zelenze. All
Sorry
good
about
now
that,
for-
guys. We had a little more than technical difficulties this time. Oh, this is not good either. There we go. Okay, there. Now, can everybody hear me? See me? Sounds good. Okay. So where were we? Why do we use paper? Well, we use paper to keep everything clean. We use it as a collection reservoir and pretty much keep your press clean as well. You'll be using multiple layers of paper to keep everything clean. Anyway, so I wrote down a little cheat sheet here because I get stoner block and then I forget what I'm doing. So, so this is why we use paper. I'm gonna put this right here so I can keep track of it. We keep the paper around. We use many different types of paper, but the number one paper that is preferred is an unbleached parchment paper, not wax paper or bleached parchment paper. They will melt and they're not rated. This one here, this is oven, microwave safe, good up to 375 degrees. And I have another one over here. This in here is also an unbleached parchment paper. I think this one here was even better, was up to 425. You really want, like, you're probably never going to get even 200 degrees on a press. Like, I couldn't see, unless you wanted to do some crazy experiment or something. In that case, you'd probably still be fine, but go with the high heat because it's usually thicker and it's not like you're going to burn it out, but being a little thicker, it can take the pressure. And if you've seen pressing, when it starts pressing, everything has to go somewhere. So under all that force, everything starts spreading out. And if you just got a really weak, cheap paper, it has ripped on me before. Believe it or not, actually, a dollar store one I found here is really good. And you can feel it too. It's quite thick. So I'll show you a little piece here. Quite thick. It'll be very rough with it, and it's fun. Second of all, so what kinds of paper? We already covered that. When do we use paper? always, don't ever try to press without paper. Don't use plastic. And if you don't use anything, you'll just have oil all over your press. And, well, that'll just be terrible and wasteful because you can't, it's scraping off metal and stuff into your. So you always use, if you're going to press, the first thing is where am I going to get some paper? Okay. Once you have paper in a press, you can make resin and you can get stone. But without the paper, I don't know of many ways that you can press without paper. It's one of those things you really need. Just speak. Yeah.
420 budget draw. This is great information. I was curious about pressing.
Oh, okay. Yes. We'll have a little demo after we get into the how we put it all together. I was kind of thinking of doing 3 lives. I'm not a big into the live, but I was kind of just gonna explore this avenue, kind of follow up with the press and kind of do the 3 steps. There's pretty much 3 steps. There's your preparation step, there's the pressing step, and then there's the final collection step. Once you figured out all those, you can just start experimenting. I want to do this, that. Once you understand the basic principles, you can just have crazy. The only thing that's holding you back is how much weed you got to throw away or test or experiment on, right? So I guess now we will go into showing you how to fold. And now I'm going to put a disclaimer. This is just how I do it. There may be better ways. I've tried to see many ways and try to copy and incorporate different styles to make the best. But once again, once you know what you're doing, you're gonna be like, I want my paper just like this. And so this will be just a generic, keeps all the resin clean, keeps it off your press, and easy to collect. So number 1. Buy better ones with boxes. Don't use crinkled paper. Ever. It is almost impossible to get all your resin back off this. Use nice, smooth, straight folded line paper, and when we get to the collection phase, you'll totally see why. So next step is I'm going to turn the camera a bit more here so you can see the press, and because how you cut your paper for me is how it is done in relation to your press and your jaws. I don't just sit over here and make some random stuff. I use my press as kind of a measurement and gauge, and I will show you that as well. So here we go. We're going to move a little bit. Does that look good? Look good? A little bit crooked here, I see. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to zoom it in a bit here. Okay. Now you don't need to worry about seeing my ugly face. That's not really on the agenda here. So first we're going to make a pouch. You always make a pouch. You make a pouch for your press, or you make a pouch for the bud that you're going to switch, or you're going to make a pouch for a smaller round sack. Never make your pouch bigger than your jaws, and never make them too much smaller than your
This
items.
is so cool. Thank you.
Okay, so let's go. This is where I was kind of confused where to place on the press. So there's one piece of paper that you always have to do, and I call it, it's just the one that keeps your press all clean. take your parchment. And I like the ones that are 12 wide, like this, right? Okay. So, the objective is we want a cup, like a protective barrier that goes through your jaws, just out the back side of your jaws, not a lot, and then come down the front, and you've probably seen a lot of videos where they have that paper and they all the resin is running down the paper. Okay? I call that the trough. There's probably a name for it.
Homegrown. Sometimes I wish I had one of those things. Me too.
Oh, once you
Budget
have one of
grow.
these, oh, dude, it's so much fun. So,
Me too. Cool to see this.
okay, so you see the magnets? The magnets hold everything. They are very important. And this will depend on your press. But see how I clip those up there? I was going somewhere with that. Now you take your paper and you hold it where you're going to clip. Take your hand through, try not to crinkle too much. And you go to the back. So for me, I know it's approximately 4.5 inches. But you'll have to measure that, and it's a little hard to show you. But you measure down here and under. That's your, everybody holds it up, right? So take 4.5 inches, and whatever press you have, this will be different. So you can't just say it's going to be 4. That's why I was showing you where you're going to put your magnets. Measure from there, down under, into the back of your jaw, and maybe go out, a little bit. How do I look? Am I good with the video?
It's good.
Yep, okay. So we'll go about 4.5 inches for me. So about 4.5 inches. And now the rest is going to come down. So how big a tail do you want? As I found out yesterday when I was doing a little press, it gave me more than I thought, and I only had a little short tail, and I actually had it drip down on a piece of paper down here. Cool for visual effects and everything, but not really what I was planning. If I knew it was going to have that much, I would have had a longer tail. It is best to not drip your resin off any of these edges. It makes for the collection process a lot harder. So I usually go my top width, leave a little bit, and then that much longer, and you'll see. So once you figured out how long you're going to rip your paper, go ahead and rip your paper. Now, you already know where your 4.5 inches is. You fold it there, make it nice and square. You just line up the edge here. And if you line up your edge with this other original factory edge, you're square, you're straight. And you can crease it pretty well. Now, you have something like so. I didn't do it very well either. God damn it. Make it a little square. Like that. That looks better. Okay. Now the next measurement, once again, is going to be important to your press. Mine is this. So you want this just to the outsides of your press and a little bit over. Okay? Mark your spots, bend them in. Okay. Fold it, make it nice and square. Line it once again up at the top. And make it square, nice. Give it a good edge. Same with your other side. Sorry, this is actually a lot harder when you're trying to do it slow and show the camera everything you do. It actually makes it look very clumsy. Okay, so now you have like some barn doors. And it usually, for my press, it almost comes right together, which I like, gives me a lot of top protection. But it's whatever you want. Second thing here is, I probably skipped a few of these. Oh no, I'm still.
Pop, I feel like I'm in a college class. It's great.
Professor Koss, at your service. Okay.
100%.
Okay, so Well, thank you guys. Appreciate that. So you see your paper. You've seen where you've made the fold. Now I don't know if you can see that totally, but you can see where I folded it over. If I open it up, there is the other paper. You want to cut to this line just at the bottom of that. And I guess I should have went over tools that you need. You just need a really good sharp scissors. Prefer sharp, like good sharp scissors. Or I've seen, you know, if you're really doing this a lot, a paper cutter. And once you know what you're doing in your press, you just pop out your pre-cuts and you're good to go. Me, I don't have one of those, so here's mine right here. Okay, now here's the next step. So we have our paper. Now,
UK Medical Cannabis. Hello.
hey UK, good to see you, buddy. You can cut this off or leave it. I like to cut it on a bit of an angle. Hard to show you, I guess. So you've got a crease here, and I like to keep the crease at the top because if you have any spillage that's coming out the side, it's nice to have a little barrier there that channels your drip down into the middle. So I guess if you see that right, about an inch on here, but I'm going to shoot for about 1/4 of an inch on the other side of the crease. Nothing serious, but that's just where I'm aiming. Especially the last inch or so I want it. I want it to stay up. So if I have a problem or anything, I have a little trough that I can work it and I don't drip it down on my press. And the same thing with the other side. Best to just do it like this. And having a paper cutter would be very nice. Now the next cuts I do, because once these are folded over, it's impossible to lift your top up and anchor it onto here. So you stick it in, because now, see, once you fold it up, it fits into your press lickety split, like it should. Kind of hold it over about 1/4 inch or so on the back, not much, but about yay. Take your scissors, come in underneath, make sure you got both these folds. You just need to get under the bottom one. So I actually have 3 pieces of paper. I cut one, and then the middle one here.
So that's how you do the paper? The 420 budget. So that's how you do the paper?
Yes. Yep. Because you want this to fold up. Makes a nice little up here where it was. So look again. Pull it out, so about a 1/4 inch past, and then I just cut right up, and I just stay away from my jaws probably 1/8 of an inch. Now, the whole top piece, since you made this incision, you go like this. Now, when you're pressing multiple presses, if you're doing it right, you never have to change this really. Okay, put your little magnet on here. I guess I didn't go over magnets. So these are just little magnets. You can buy them like a little stack of 10 for like a couple bucks at a hardware store or dollar store, probably a dollar store, and they work just awesome. They just click right on there and it just lickety split. And I'm about a 1/4 inch out the back. Now you can kind of see what you've got here. You've got a nice little pouch. Might have a little trim in like this. Get rid of that. Fold things down. Kind of end it out. Try not to rip it. And for a start, you can put a little magnet there. And a little magnet here.
UK said, can I press ABP?
Press what?
ABV.
ABV.
A Victory B. I've got 2 ounces of AVB. I have saved from my dry herbs tea.
Oh, I should know that. Okay, that's going to be getting into next episode of the pressing, and we'll cover a lot of that. But just to give you a little spoiler, everything you press is different. Some don't press, some don't, some can't collect, some need to be at 140 degrees, and some like it at 180. It depends on your strain. And right now I am doing a Bubba Kush, which is a medium. It's about 11% dump, which is not really that good, to be straight up, but sometimes you don't just want the most dump. Sometimes you're in it for the terpene profile or the smoothness, or it's what you grew and it's all you got. So it really depends. But like my Bubba Kush here, it likes below 160. You get above 160, it's really hard to collect.
I grow weed.
Hey,
just
bro.
watch your press build video. Awesome stuff, man.
Hey, thanks. Took about a week, I guess. You know, you come in, you smoke a joint, you get distracted, you start listening to tunes, and you know, half the day goes by and you realize you just drilled one hole. You know, it is like, if I really got down to it, I'd probably say this probably took me 8 hours. Like if I was, you know, working or something, right?
Use in edibles.
Use in edibles?
Vape bud. Vape
Yep.
bud. Use in edible.
Okay. Now, so this is what I always use, and if you press properly, you don't, this is just kind of protects everything. You get a big drip, you can collect it onto here, everything stays clean, the press works up and down multiple times, and this just stays that way. So that's the first step. Like I was saying last night, there's a lot of boring preparation to this before you actually make your oil. So now we can use a little bit, I use a little bit lighter, and you can feel this stuff's a little thinner. And I found this to be quite good to making my, for some reason I want to call them a basket, but it's the containment vessel that you put around your bag or your bottleneck part or your dry bud that you're squishing or anything. You kind of make a simple channel box. I'll show you. And it just contains everything. It drips out the front. So let's use something for an example here. Well, let's use what we're gonna, and due to YouTube, and they're lovely people, love them, greatest place ever, but they have some guidelines and you can't show weed. So I can't show you how I filled this up, but there is 23 grams of Bubba Kush in here. You have to take my word.
That is so cool. I bet you're good at origami.
Or I know how to make the little dragon.
Ah.
And my kid actually knows one, makes a spider or something she did there. Okay, so this is your pressable material. Now this could be just a little nug. This could be a round bottle tech style puck. This is a 3x6 bag. I went big or went home, and I went big and went home. So here I am. So this is why I do it. I already know. So you can see how that is pretty much equal all the way around. So that's what I do. I just literally use half of one of these papers. And it just works out perfect. Sometimes you get lucky. It's like it's meant to be. Okay. How's the video, babe? Good? You can see it quite well?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so take your pressable, put it in there. Okay, so I'm going to be working, pretty much the max size. So normally, if you were probably not pressing as much, you'd go a little smaller. But I just go just minimum size. So I use my jaws. I can still see my jaws up here. I pick the inside and I where am I at there? Oh, there it is, right there. So I go, not much smaller than my jaws. It will fit in there, no problem. But other than that, make two little marks where I can remember where it is.
Said, yeah, maybe it was all in my head. COS, I knew it was A with B. My brothers just tasted like the cake.
Oh, so you're talking about edibles then?
Yeah.
Okay. The byproducts can be used for edibles, but I don't think you'd want to put hash, like such nice hash, like rosin, in an edible. You could. You'd mix it into a butter, right? But I like putting 2 or 3 drops in a joint, and then just sit back and that baby just burns forever. And just smoke that thing until you just blitzed. Okay, so 3 inches. You want this approximately the same size as your jaw. Okay, you want the bottom a little bit longer. Now, normally this is for flour. Obviously, you would not do this if you were pressing bubble hash, because the amount that would come out of something that size would come out all over here. But when you're pressing flour, I've rarely broke this line. And if we do, I'm just going to get a little thing and collect it. So we've made our little notches here. We fold those in, keeping it square. Like so. Same with this side. Like so. And you now have a pouch. Okay, just like an envelope. Okay. And that's your next step. Now, in here, this one, I will be putting that in there. You could make a little bit smaller one, make it a little bit smaller then. All you need to do is worry about this size and your jaw widths. You can make this much smaller.
Cheers! Happy Croctober. Oh.
Thank you.
Hi, Sam. That's Sam.
Okay. So where was I? Sorry, I get stoned and I forget what I'm doing. Oh yeah, okay. So you can make this pouch a lot smaller. 2x4 or 2x3. Say you're going to do a little nug, like you just want to test. You got an auto flower. You've got maybe an ounce off it. So it's not like you're going to want to throw 20 grams in here and do a squish. So grab a 2-gram nug. I don't have a 2-gram nug, but pretend you do. I wouldn't particularly use something this big for a 1-gram nug, and I'll tell you why. You don't want it too small because whatever you're squishing is going to expand, correct? Not down? Okay. Sorry, I was up too high. So you want just enough room for whatever you're squishing to expand. But you don't want 100 miles beyond that, because when you're pressing stuff, that oil can get really thin and it can spread out very far. And once again, you have to try to collect that. So it's nice to leave like 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch past where you're going to squish to. So like a bud squishes, a little, you'll figure it out. I can't give you numbers because I don't know exactly what. So I can't say, 0.75 of an inch. You just kind of go, okay, this is going to squish to about that big. Leave 1/8 of an inch. So my bud in here is bud's usually, 2-gram bud will usually squish 2 inches in diameter-ish. So you're going to make this like 2.5. This is just example. And you balance it from the back at 2. So it's a 1/4 inch all the way around. And when you press, this, if you're pressing lots and you're getting a massive return, this will actually channel your rosin out and get it out the front. Where if you're pressing in the middle and you've got 2 inches over to the edge of your paper, it's just going to spread out, and that drip is now just going to be a mist all over your paper. Where if it's just at a crease, just after it's done squishing, it'll all collect there, and you just quickly dab up that crease, and you're not trying to scrape the whole, 4 square inches of paper. So that's where this is kind of important. Now I got to go back to my notes here. I don't even know how much stuff I've missed. I got rambling. Yes, very important for this. Always use more paper. If you think you're going to blow out of this, put another one inside. And if you are like me, you have your one protection. You have your one that collects the drip. Now I can say I want to press a whole bunch of different buds. Say I have 5 different phenotypes, and I just want to check. I've just finished curing. That'll be in the next episode, but you want around 9-10 days. You want a little bit of moisture. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I see how it's work. Okay.
I can take a bud, put it in here, make my, my little, just going to exaggerate here, right? Make my little packet of phenotype A. So make my second packet of phenotype B. Make my third one, and you can put them just in there, press it, change that if you want, or being this small, it's probably not going to leak out of here unless you've got like some super awesome strain. In that case, well, you got a drip. But that's not something to whine about. But usually this will just get wet and have nice oil in the crease and stuff. And then you do your next one, and the next one, and the next one. And if one actually dumps pretty good, well, you've caught it. And then at the end of the day, everything is nice and clean. And you don't have to worry about it. And you can, go up and down many times with this. Squeeze your paper. You can squeeze your paper just plain. That doesn't do anything to it, right? Just squeeze it up. And the way it all folds in there, it just pretty much gets better. Right, like that. Good as gold. Ready for another one. And another one, if you're into that. Usually, for me, and I'm probably, I would assume many other of you, you want a little treat. Give yourself a nice fresh press, let it sit for a couple days, let it caramelize up, show it with your buddy, get ready. Do this, say Monday, ready for Saturday night kind of thing, and good to go. Okay, what else have I missed here? So don't worry about using paper, use layers. Have a long tail always, just in case. I covered that. And where to buy paper? Well, the good kind is usually from your grocery store and dollar store. That's pretty much where it is. So that in a nutshell is pretty much all you need to know for your paper to start out. Just make sure you use it. Because if you press anything in there, it's just going to get seriously dirty and gross, and it'd just be terrible. So there we go. Let's zoom back out. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, yeah, we should. Okay, what we're going to go over next is bags. Yeah, is it good? Maybe zoom out a little bit or what?
Yeah.
with the bags, I'm going to talk with my hands a bit more. So there we go. Now, once again, disclaimer, this is how I have decided that I like to use and how I like to use them. I've asked questions before, and a lot of people, they're up and down. You can do this, you can do that. You don't need a bag. You can use filter. I even had some guy telling me to use some cheesecloth. Let's go with that. And we have another different type of bags. So, and where is my coffee filter? Very special. Uh-oh. You see my coffee filter? Uh-oh. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. Technical difficulties on Stoner Block. I had something here I wanted to show you, and of course I put it somewhere safe where I wouldn't forget it. And now I can't find it. Oh well. Nope, not that. Okay, anyways, I guess we don't get to show that, really. I'm sure I had one. Okay, well, either way, that is terrible. Kind of confused where that went to. It's probably right here. We just can't see it. Okay, anyways, so let's get back to the bags. You can buy bags off Amazon. From what I'm hearing, is good. And I went and I usually go to my local grocery store. I kind of hate going to Amazon, but whatever. I went and looked, and right there.
420 budget. Thank you, Canadian Outdoor, for the information. I will see you on the next one. Cheers, everyone.
Hey, peace out, 420. Thanks, buddy. Okay. So, we have bags, and I need my tools. So, you buy any kind of bags, but normally what they use is a 90 micron bag or a 32 micron bag. I believe they're 32s. Yeah, 32 micron, 90 micron. You can use bigger micron. I haven't used any. This is what is highly recommended, is the 90. I've also used the 32. You can also use a coffee filter. I found works actually quite well, and we'll probably just have to leave that as a different time. So I get some rosin bags, and a lot of them, the seam is on the inside. Okay, everything is in the inside, and they work really good. Then you get some that are on the outside from Amazon. Turn them inside out and stack them that way. Take your knife inside, poke out your corners, so they are using the wrong knife there. Just slide your knife blade up, poke your corner out just like that. I don't know. Am I missing it?
No. Cheers. That's it.
And use your knife there, poke out your corners. That. The one thing I found, the number one thing, and there's quite a lot of controversy about your seam, but one thing that I can tell you, the seam stops the flow of juice out of your flower. The nectar does not like going through a pressed seam. And it will get down there, and you will press it that thin. We will press this that thin. Oh yes. So I like to go with the bags on the inside, or the seams on the inside. And then don't go bigger than your jaws, and you can go any size smaller than your jaws, that is fine. But try not to ever go you know, the size of your jaws, because when it squishes, everything expands. Even these bags expand a bit. So that's that. Same with the smaller bag. Same thing. Now, when you're filling your bags, let's see what's there. Let me go over this again. So why do we use bags? Okay, it's very important to use bags and the micron size. When you press something with a finer micron, it gets a lot cleaner. And that is the number one reason why we use a bag and we don't just press a flour. If you press a flour, you have bits of weed in your oil. Where as long as you don't blow this out, your rosin is pretty clean. And then if you use a finer micron, I would not suggest going any smaller than 32. You can get it really clear. Just be careful, it resists quite well, and it does like to. Yes, you need a bag. And important steps, remember the seam is always restricts flow. Now, when you fold a bag, okay, let's step back. Let's stuff a bag. When you're stuffing a bag, especially with flour, you're going to find that you have a lot of holes, right? It's flour. It's not liquid. It doesn't fill up. Make sure that you fill everything up to where it is very firm, not so hard where you have forced little sticks out the side of the bag. Okay, that's too much. But as you can see, these corners, I have weed all the way right down into the corner. Because when this gets all squished, you don't want gaps in between your bag and the outside, or sorry, you don't want it in between your weed and the inside of the bag, because that will pool up and you can't get rid of it. You have to take it apart, clean it. So you put it in there, you get them all full. So when it squishes, the oil has nowhere to go but outside your bag. Okay, that is pretty important, or you will press, because you're only going to get a few grams of oil from this, and if you leave a quarter of a gram in the bag, well, you just lost 25% just because you didn't have enough weed to fill it up or something. I don't know what reason, or you just kind of poked it in there. Poke it in there as hard as you can. Fill it up. There's an ounce of weed in this little thing, almost 23 grams, and it is about 2 inches by 5. I cram it in there. I fill it up about half, and then I shove it down in all the corners, make it all nice and tight by hand, and then fill up another half, which once again turns into quarter. So you've done it full, but you don't even have it half yet. You keep doing that until you're up to, where you just have enough to fold over and keep it all contained. Now next, always put your fold on the end. You can do many different types of fold, but your point is to seal it up very good. Leave no rooms. Tuck it over, bring it up, try to keep it as tight as possible. Maybe take your butter knife or a little spatula, tuck everything in, make it nice, make it so you got nothing but nice square edges. This one didn't get very good, but I don't know if you can see that here. Try to fold that in really good there. And here. Okay. And you want this fold up, because gravity, everything goes down. And here, there's 4 layers of press bag here, 4 layers on this edge, and only 2 layers in the middle because of the way it's folded together. And all that press bag will get pressed full of rosin and then stay that way. Will not come out. Okay. Next, remember what I said about the seam. Seam stops the flow of rosin. So don't do like I did last night and accidentally put it facing the way you want the oil to extract. always put your seam at the back. Okay. Let's see. What else am I missing here? You always want to place it in the middle. Okay. You might think, oh, this is just a bud. I can press over on the side of my press. I'm pretty sure all presses are going to say place your item in the middle of your jaws. When you start dealing with, 20,000, this one here is 20,000 pounds per square inch, or not, just 20,000 pounds of pressure from a 10-ton jack. You don't want to focus that all over here on one corner, right? You want it all even. That's just good for your press. I'm sure this press could take it, but you could just wreck your press. You will squish all the oil out one side, have nothing over on this side. It's always press in the middle. Okay, how long have we been? Just about been an hour. I guess we better get pressing something. I didn't plan on making this more than an hour, so here we go. And you also, you don't always have to use bags, like I said earlier with the little pieces of paper. You can press a bud in there and just squish it down really good, squish it together. We'll go in that next, how to prep your weed and everything, but that'll be an age-restricted video. So, and then you just press it, but you're gonna have little bits of weed unless you're gonna have to housekeep and clean it, and yeah, it's not really worth it. But then bags, you see another thing going back to the bags. So these bags here, if you press correctly, and this is one thing no one says, because why would you? You wouldn't buy anymore. You don't have to throw these out. You press this properly, it will look like this. Okay. See, it's very thin. Probably half the size of my wedding ring.
Junkyard.
Hey, Junkyard.
I stopped by to smash that like button.
Thanks, buddy.
COS.
Right on. Appreciate it.
I
And
know
everybody
it's
else
nice.
too. Thanks. So what I was saying is, if you don't wreck your bag, you open this up, warm it up a little bit, open it up, take out your product, you can throw it away, use it as edibles, whatever. Put this into, I just put it in a glass jar with some ISO, let it soak, let it clean them out, and if you want, you got RSO as well, because there's a lot of oil in here, and you'd be surprised of how quickly that isopropanol, a couple bags, man, you got yourself
Silence. Thanks a lot, Canadian. Middle of the night here. Have to go. Cheers shot.
I know, and it's already late. I only wanted an hour, but hey, we're just going to get to the money shot here. So you have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Okay, where was I? I'm getting distracted here. We got to put this in the bag. We need to, and don't get all ready to press your stuff and forget to turn the press on. It does help. I did squish one down there the other day. And yeah, I forgot to turn the press on, so I'm sitting there wondering, why is nothing coming out? So there we go. We're going to try at 155 today. I didn't like 160, and this is the same stuff as last night, so it was a bit runny. I had to collect it in the freezer. Okay, we're setting this for 155, top and bottom both the same. They float 5-10 degrees. Well, no, like at first, and then they balance up, but then they float about 5. So they'll go down to about 153 and probably up to 164, and they'll just kind of balance away like that. And while that's getting hot, it's pretty quick. We're gonna once again worry about our bag here, because if you don't pay attention to this end and get it folded correctly, you can lose quite a bit. So I try to fold it just like You know, I don't know if you folded Christmas presents. How you fold the two ends in, you fold the top down, and then the up and over. Well, that's what I tried to do right here. And it's not the best. But, you know, try your best, right? There you go. And these corners are good. So here's the seam. So I got to really pay attention to the seam. You put the seam bottom down in your little envelope here. Takes a little bit of finesse of getting it in there just right, but it's there. And being such a large volume, I have no problem with putting it in, because it's going to have to take, and I'm already up to 140 degrees, so you can feel the heat. So in we go. We're going to put it pretty close to the back. Now remember, I leave a little bit of room, so that's about 5 inches. This was about 6 inches, but once you raise it up, it's about 5.5. So really, I just have a little bit of room on both sides, and that's all I want for it to keep the oil channeling and flowing out. And when you're with big chunks like this, it's quite important that you get it properly centered. So I'm going to put it in there, about 3/8 of an inch back. We're pretty good there. When you're doing large stuff like this, you got to make sure you don't stick it out the backside. Now you can do your final adjustments as it comes closer. You know, I want this up and nice. I've clamped that bag at least halfway down. I like to open up my envelope so I can see. Once again, just like that bottom one, I don't cut all the way to the jaws. I just stay back a bit so it stays channeled. And then these two here can just go up like so. Take your magnet over. Voila. Okay, now we'll zoom in for you guys. And okay, never mind. That doesn't work worth a shit. There we go. Okay, so when you're doing large chunks like this, like a little bud, you're not going to have to heat it very much. But see, like I stick my hand in there, the weed starts feeling warm. Now I'm going to squish it down to probably 1/4 of its size. So get it down to about 1/4 of an inch, and we're going to let it heat again. Go too much, you're just going to push that dry, hard weed, just rip a hole in your bag. Once it gets really nice and warm, it gets really soft. Even the stems get really soft, and it squishes so much better, and it doesn't expand as much. So the warmer you can get it without getting it too hot and cooking it, kind of the better. And there's a balance, and it's let's play with it kind of balance, right? You just got to trial and error.
You ever, I grow weed. You ever press hash or make a hash press?
The upgrade version of this would make a good hash press, but my next, spoiler alert, my next creation will be a washing machine to get some cold water bubble hash, and then obviously press that. But there's a big learning curve of drying it without a freeze dryer, and that part, to be honest with you, kind of scares me, because I guess that's where you can just fuck it up really good. And once you fucked it up and got mold and shit in it, your whole here, if I mess up, I lost 20 grams. You mess up drying your batch of rosin of your whole crop, and well, that's it. Wait till next harvest. So I am going to try it, but and I look forward to trying it. But I'm going to study, and I do it when I feel that I'm ready and know what the hell I'm doing. If that makes any sense. Okay, now we've waited a few minutes here. Everything's hot, that weed's hot. Now I'm just bringing it down to its squish size, which is about 1/8 of an inch. You notice I've been keep checking. I just pinched my bag in the back because this big bag, the big outside bag, is sticking outside the jaw, probably 3/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. So I just kind of squeeze that, and I feel if my bottom bag is squeezing out the back yet. And from what I can feel in there, it's probably at least 1/8 of an inch in underneath the jaw yet. And it's about 1/8 of an inch in right here too. So it looks like I'm perfectly centered. And now I can start squeezing it. So now, I usually go about 100 psi per square inch. And then let it sit for a while. So that's pretty much 2,000 psi, and then 4,000, 6,000, 8,000. And I didn't buy the highest quality porta power, and the valve leaks sometimes, and that really sucks. 4 out of 3 times it'll hold pressure.
You'll be alright, Lord.
Okay, there. Yeah, so you just back the valve off. Well, no, it's still backing off a bit. Okay, there you go. I got it. Okay, so now that we're there, we've squished it. We've got the first.
With the bubble hash.
What's that?
We'll be alright with the bubble hash.
Yeah. That stuff flows way better than flour, man. And like I look forward to. Oh, whoa! I better be careful here. I'm getting oil already. See, I barely got any pressure on it. This one's gonna drip too, I think. So we better be ready. Okay, we're gonna bring it up to 4,000 psi, which is about 200 psi. Wheat flour has got to go to about 400 to 500. Holy shit! We come low. Look at this thing. Oh, look at it flow. Look at it, guys. Oh shit, we're dripping. We're fucking dripping, guys. Oh yeah, this is.
Dump.
Oh, it's dumping. It is dumping. See, this is what it should have done last night, but I got most of it in the back, and when I finally collected it in the freezer, I had like 1.5 grams just off the back. But this fucking bitch dumped, so you got to get that bag and make sure you don't fuck up and put it in wrong. Because, you see, the seam of that bag is right at the very back of the jaw, so as you see how these sides, like this side came out, This is the side. This is the fold side, that end folded side. It's absorbing a bunch of this. Where this side is those two corners that I filled out, and the seam is in the back. So pretty much everything from the back here all came out here. That's why that just flooded. That's I don't know why it's doing that. I have a sensor malfunction. Huh. Okay, we're just going to put that under there like that, let it collect. Looks like I blew a temperature sensor on my lower press plate. Fucking Amazon junk. But yeah, it says the temperature is 248, but it's only at about 157. And slowly cooling down. Weird. I'll have to inspect that. But it looks like our dump is about done, eh guys? We're going to give it up to about 4,000. Oh no, I lied. We still squeezing. Actually, that fucking plate feels pretty warm. Yeah, that looks like it's about done. I think that top plate had a bit of a malfunction. I'll have to check that out. It says it's 155 right now. The bottom one's 162. I don't know. I think something got a little warmer than it should have. Okay, we're at about 400 psi. It's looking like she's about done. Yeah. I don't see anything more. Yeah, 7 minutes, 8 minutes are up. So, oh, we get a little bit of a drip there. But looks quite sticky. Looks like I might have did all right.
Very nice.
Not enough to pick up though, but we'll have to let it cool. There we go.
Very nice.
Babe, can you unplug that? The bottom orange?
This one?
Bottom orange.
Yeah.
The orange, yeah. Okay, there we go. Now this will go out into the freezer for 10 minutes. I didn't quite expect it to dump that much. 23 grams, I expected, maybe close to 3 grams. Yeah, maybe I did get that. Quite a bit down here in this puddle down here though. Quite a bit. all stuck together now. So now I usually, this is why I have the white parchment paper that, I don't heat this up or nothing, but it's great to keep everything clean. So you can just put that in there. Let's see here. No blowout. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Oh, look how clean that bag is. Right. Pardon the arm.
No, it's covering on your.
I know. I'm trying here.
Up.
Up. I can't do up. Can I do up?
Yep.
Holy smokes! How high am I at?
Yep.
There we go. Look at that. Delicioso.
Damn, that's clean. That's clean.
That is pretty clean. I've never had such a clean bag. Look at that.
Up.
I am.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Take this. All right, well, there we go. Sorry it took a little longer than expected. Guys, have a good night, and I appreciate you all stopping by. And now we're going to get stoned. Peace out, guys. Have a good night.
Well done, bro.
Thanks, I Grow Weed. Zil. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Sorry, I'm just going to look at the chats here. Who else am I missing? Junkyard.
They all good.
They all
Silence,
good? Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Say it everything.
Okay. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye. Love you all.
Oh,